Um, our presenter is a data analyst, a researcher, a software developer, entrepreneur, and technologist. His current work focuses on human rights, public health, food security, political risk, and fighting infodemics. He founded Seralytics, a social impact data analytics company, and Data Ethics PH, an online community focused on data rights and social issues from data. His teams are also back to back winners of the NASA International Space Apps Challenge, which Sariko mentioned a while ago, for data driven dengue detection, or the Project AEDES, and for COVID 19 pandemic assessment, or the Gideon. In 2020, Seralytics was awarded the Earth Observation for Sustainable Development Goals Global Award by the Group on Earth Observations for Project AEDES. We would like to again congratulate Project AEDES for going through the DPG nomination process and, as a few days ago, being endorsed and vetted as a DPG. Can we all give them a virtual round of applause? Congratulations, congratulations. So now, to help us walk their path, the same path as theirs, so we would be hearing from Sir Dominic Ligot. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, Diane. I'd like to thank UNICEF Philippines, the DPG Alliance, DOST-PCIEERD, Mr. Bizad Nubari of UNICEF programs, of course, Dr. Eric Paringit of PCIEERD, and the pathfinding team, Enrico Merle, Janina Ali, Nathan Balita, Ibrahim Emad, Benjamin Grubb, for finding time to let me speak today. So today I will be talking about our journey to become a digital public good, from our humble beginnings in the NASA Space Apps Challenge to describing our projects and the story so far and future plans. No? Many of you already know this story, but Project AEDES is a story 2 years in the making now. We got our start in the NASA Space Apps Challenge in 2019. And to Nathan's point, you know, it's very providential. At that time, there was a challenge called Smash Your SDGs, or how to use Earth observations and ground measurements to make an impact in the UN SDGs. So in hindsight, I can say we really didn't choose the challenge as much as the challenge chose us. So we went for SDG 3. In 2019, COVID was not even a rumor. The problem was dengue. And the levels of dengue at that time were of epidemic levels in deaths and cases in 5 years. Although dengue is a health problem, we tackled it as a data problem. How do we get around the typical delays in health surveillance by using machine learning, remote sensing, and social listening, which are all technologies that PCIEERD is actively supporting. When we first did our listening in August, we saw a recurring pattern for dengue searches, and it still occurs today. Every July and August and December and January, people would start searching for dengue. And at the time of the challenge, the spikes were the highest ever in 5 years. And we used this to focus on the areas we would tackle. So we started with Tacloban, Iloilo, and Cotabato. We used machine learning to combine social listening, rainfall, and temperature from DOST Pag-asa, and dengue cases and deaths from DOH to come up with a rather predictive model of where dengue was happening. And now that we know when dengue could spike, we then used remote sensing to determine where the mosquitoes might be by detecting humidity and stagnant water through satellite data. So a lot of you have already heard what AEDES does. Although the DOH publishes dengue statistics openly, our goal was to make all of this information open easily and automation to advise healthcare workers and citizens. And those of you who know us in Seralytics, we have a saying, social problems are data problems. And at the time when we were measuring the impact of what AEDES could bring, by solving a data delay, we're actually saving lives. For every 1 day we save 5 lives and prevent 1,000 cases. So what has happened since? So in 2019, we became a local NASA finalist. So this was the scene in the LSU where the hackathon was conducted. Dr. Paula Bontempi of NASA was there to award us, along with Yusek Mon Ibrahim, who is now my colleague from AAP. And Sir Dicky Gonzalez was also there from Animo Labs. Hi, Sir Dicky. I can see you in the audience. In Feb 2020, we were awarded the best use of data, one of 6 awardees among 15,000 worldwide. And in March, we started linking up with UST. So we met the satellite people in ASTI, Pedro, the Maya, and Diwata teams. You can see Dr. Joel Marciano there, who's newly appointed PhilSA Director General. And then in March, our lives went into hibernation as we all went into lockdown. But in November, we got a pleasant surprise when Serolytics and AEDES were awarded the EO for SDG award by the Group on Earth Observations. So the GEO, or the Group on Earth Observations, is a global consortium including NASA, ESA, JAXA, the UN. And what they look for are organizations that are, helping the UN SDGs using various technologies, especially Earth observations. So this is an inspiration for those of you working in the satellite industry. Please continue your work, because there are people looking for work such as yourselves. And at this point, this is when we met the fantastic crew at the UNICEF pathfinding team and the DPG Alliance. We started our several months vetting and discussing to become a digital public good. The TPG has a 9-point standard that we needed to address, so which was very helpful for us, because after a hackathon, many people who go through hackathons don't know what to do next, and DPG is actually a good way to make your solution more sustainable. Things like, are you relevant to the SDGs? Are you using open licenses? Do you own your solution? Are you platform independent? In other words, if we move your solution to another country, can they use it? Is it well documented? Do you have a mechanism for extracting data? Are you adhering to privacy and applicable laws? Are you using standards and best practices? And most importantly, is your solution, will your solution harm anyone? And I think that's an important thing to remember nowadays, where we struggle with things like fake news, we struggle with things like infodemics, we struggle with things like contact tracing apps not being vetted for privacy. It's very easy to come up with solutions, but no one thinks about the impact you will have on people. And for us, the message of the DPG is technology should help society, not harm society. And again, the wonderful work of Rico, Janina, Ibrahim, Nathan, and Benjamin were very vital in bringing us over the line. So while we were discussing with UNICEF, so we got the word just this week, Monday, we were informed that we were, finally considered one of the DPG, one of 25. It's very humbling to know that there are only 25 so far, but hopefully this paves the way for more Filipinos and Philippine-based solutions to become DPGs. And I think at this point, I want to, maybe share that for the longest time, we really struggled with understanding what AEDES was meant to be. Of course, when we were awarded in NASA, it felt very good. But after that, what then? No? Everyone got caught up with COVID. Even the health sector was too preoccupied with COVID to give us any audience. But we never lost hope. No? And another thing as well is, when you create solutions, the typical path for many innovators is, okay, we'll create a solution, then we'll find an investor and we'll monetize it. Actually, we really struggled thinking about, how do you monetize a dengue detector? Everyone needs it, but who will pay for it? I think these are very quintessential questions for anyone looking to get into this sector. But we never lost hope. And when we finally got the award from the GEO and the DPG, I think the message for us was very clear, that ideas like AEDES, and there will be more ideas, some of them are really meant to be shared openly to the world. It's not meant to benefit just a few people. Some of these solutions are meant to benefit everyone. So, take that inspiration to heart. Hindi naman kailangan lahat pagkakitaan. So here's the real happy ending. As we were developing AEDES, so we had a lot of help. So we had some interns from the FTW Foundation who trains women in data science. So they helped us extend our solution. And then now we're collaborating with a lot of scientists from several parts of the US, in Japan, in Europe, and ESA, to really help the solution. And they're doing it without asking for anything in return. And then as a result of our work in AEDES, we also, got a break and started helping with COVID response. And right now we're trying to combine what we're doing for COVID, which is assessing health risk and resiliency, and bring it back to dengue, where it all started. AEDES also was a gateway for us, no, in Serolytics. So there's so many apps that came out of AEDES. As was mentioned earlier, we had our second win with NASA with Gideon. Gideon looks at COVID and recovery across the world. We also used the same technology in Ceres, which we submitted to ADB to look at economic growth. The Corona Tracker, which is one of the earliest global dashboards for COVID, was recognized by WHO. We brought the technology to Mindanao to look at food security through the Mindanao Food Highway. We're also looking at localizing COVID response data for LGUs, and this has caught the attention of USAID and Australia Aid. And then AEDES has a bigger sister called Heartbeat. We submitted this in NASA last year also. And what Heartbeat is looking to do is look at all health risks across all the world, no? And see if we can apply the same method for dengue in detecting other issues like, you know, respiratory disease, polio, and etc. And this is also what brought us in touch with UNICEF. We say social problems are data problems, no? But data problems are still solved by human beings. So I want to recognize the people who continue to labor behind the scenes to bring AEDES and our mission to life, no? Of course, we have Mark Toledo, my colleague from very beginning. When we were starting Serolytics, Mark was there. We have Claire, Cricket, Rach, Emily, Mark Pascual, who's creating our new apps now, Sam, some really great experts, Mike Promentilla from DLSU, he's looking at risk and resilience indicators. Tadeus Carvajal has been researching dengue for more than 20 years. No? He's based in Japan. Of course, Wilson Chua, my good friend in Singapore. Janine and Mox are from FTW Foundation, along with Rach, and of course, Mike Domagas of the NASA Space Apps. You guys have believed in us from the very beginning, and I dedicate this award to you. And of course, the people at NASA, ESA, PCIEERD, DAP, AAP, and BARM, who continue to support us behind the scenes in our other activities. Actually, it all started with AEDES, but now it's spreading all over the place. Those of you who are enrolled in Sparta, a lot of that inspiration came from AEDES as well. So I want to end with a message, for other researchers, innovators, engineers, teachers, and students. I think I showed this in another webinar. This is a customer value pyramid. It was published by Bain in the Harvard Business Review. It's actually similar to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It shows what people value and what customers look for in products and services. If you go to the bottom of the pyramid, this is the functional level. These are common things people will pay for, like, does it organize things? Does it integrate? Does it connect? Does it save time for me? Does it reduce costs? So these are typical products you might do as a startup or as a researcher. And then one notch higher are the emotional, factors. No? So if you can create things that, steer the emotion, reduce anxiety, give therapy, give nostalgia, people will treasure it. No? So for example, a lot of people treasure their smartphones because some of them have emotional attachments to it. So yan ang higher level. But at the highest level of this pyramid are two things. No? One is, does your product change lives? Does it provide hope? And at the highest level is, does it impact society, social impact? Since we started on AEDES, me and my team realigned our entire lives to making impacts to society, and we have not regretted a second of it. So 2 more messages, and I hope to hear more from everyone during the Q&A. This one is from my idol. He said, if something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. And of course, my personal mantra, anything I do, does it inspire me? Rather than, waiting for something to inspire you, why don't you, create something that inspires you instead? And I know sometimes that might be hard to do during a pandemic, but sometimes the pandemic is the best time, gives you the best time to reflect, ano ba talaga importante sa'yo, and, use that to inspire your creativity. And lastly, I want to dedicate this to my father. Sadly, he passed away last Saturday, 48 hours before we got the DPG recognition. I'm still recovering from his death. But in many ways, this recognition is a message from him. So thank you, Dad. I love you. And hopefully your life can inspire me and others to pursue, life that is meaningful through our work. So thank you very much to listening to my story. And I look forward to hearing from more DPGs from the Philippines. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Dominic. You know, you are such an inspiration, and we truly believe that your dad has been so proud of you, of all your achievements, and of how you are being continually an inspiration to everybody. Again, congratulations to you, and we are here to again to commend you for all that you have done, for all that you have shared to everybody, and as what you have said, there are some ideas, innovative projects that are meant to be shared to the world. And you did not only shared Project AEDES, but you shared hope, you shared inspiration, you shared impact, and that is truly long lasting. So thank you so much, Sir